Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
60 degrees at 6 a.m. on this Sunday morning. Sarah Spivey was right on time yesterday about that wind coming in the afternoon. I was nailing down my fiesta decorations because those wind gusts got pretty gusty. She'll have our Sunday forecast for us in just a bit.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on Sunday, April 16th. San Antonio, it's a beautiful morning. I have to say, I actually got some rest last night.
Good for you. You look
No thunder.
rested.
Thank you. No thunder, no lightning. So that was good news.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's going to be a beautiful day for us today around San Antonio. Temperatures are already starting off in the 50s and in the 60s. So a cool start thanks to a cold front that moved through last night. It's 60 degrees outside right now. Winds are from the north at about 10 miles per hour. And actually, we're going to see those winds pick up a little bit here in the next hour or so. So it is going to be a windy start to the day. But notice sunny all day long, 0% chance for rain. A high of 79. So really nice, especially compared to yesterday when we were seeing highs in the low 90s. Here's what we're going to talk about in the forecast again today. Very pleasant. I'll have a look at neighborhood highs out there this afternoon. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, humidity is going to return and we are going to even have some light rain in the forecast. I'll detail that rain chance coming up in a bit. And then by Thursday and Friday, just humid and warm as we really start to kick off Fiesta. So I'll walk you through today, get you ready for the week ahead coming up in just a bit. Jonathan, Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. This morning, a man in his 20s, lucky to be alive after San Antonio police say 3 men armed with rifles went to his job and shot at him multiple times. This happened just before 3:30 in the afternoon at the Church's Chicken in the 1800 block of West Hildebrand. That's not far from West Avenue. Officers say the 3 suspects parked and went inside, each one carrying rifles, and started shooting at the man working the register. The suspects then took off. We're told the man being shot at was not hit by any bullets. However, police say he was hit by shrapnel. He was taken to the hospital as a precaution. So far, police don't have a motive for this shooting, and the suspects have still not been caught.
Today's top story this morning, new information emerging about the leak of those classified Pentagon documents.
The Washington Post reports some of those files reveal details about Chinese surveillance. ABC's Karina Mitchell has a story.
The world watching back in February as the U.S. shot down that Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina. Now, those highly classified Pentagon documents leaked on the internet, revealing there reportedly were more. The Washington Post obtaining some of the leaked files, showing U.S. intelligence agencies knew of 4 additional spy balloons that flew over the continental U.S. earlier this year. The Post also reporting those materials show another balloon flew over a U.S. carrier strike group in the Pacific Ocean. The documents posted on the social media chat service Discord, allegedly by National Guardsman Jack Teixeira, the 21-year-old now charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information and willful retention of classified documents.
There are very serious penalties associated with that, and we intend to send that message, how important it is to our national security.
Teixeira had a top-secret security clearance as part of his job managing IT systems. Officials say he copied the materials and then shared them online.
These individuals need to be able to get on the system, but if they open a document that they have no need to know, then that should trigger some kind of warning to a supervisor so they can investigate why this individual would be looking at this document and certainly why they would be printing it.
The leaks also detailing battle plans and munition supplies in Ukraine. The White House saying there will be action.
I've instructed the department to make sure that they get to the root of why he had access in the first place, number one, and number two, to focus extensively on the extent to which it all occurred.
Teixeira's family has military ties. His mother volunteers with a veterans group, and his stepfather retired after serving 34 years in the same unit as Teixeira. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Well, looking ahead, today is the last day of this year's Poteet Strawberry Festival.
And with the current drought and recent temperature changes that has impacted this year's harvest, meteorologist Mia Montgomery took a trip down Highway 16 to find out.
As the calendar flips over to the month of April, carnival rides, tents, and food booths start lining the festival grounds in Poteet, Texas. After World War II ended, their Rotary Club created this annual event.
Many of the people that had come back from war had at one time been farmers or from families that were farming families. So they had the very first Poteet Strawberry Festival in 1948 to try to get people's spirits up and to try to celebrate the crop that has made Poteet well known.
Their mission? To promote the importance of local strawberry farming and also provide important funding that goes right back into the community in the form of various scholarships to students. This year's festival will have it all. The carnival, the food, the entertainment, and thanks to local growers like Will Bates, plenty of the best strawberries grown right here in South Central Texas.
If you come over here to Poteet and you buy these vine-ripe berries that are ready, the difference in the taste of those berries is just night and day. I mean, the reason they are the best is because you can get to them when they are ripe.
Our population here in Poteet is about 3,500 people, so just about all of us are out here working. So we're always so glad to see the crowds come in because it's a big time event, but hopefully for everybody they'll enjoy a small town welcome.
A big time event on a small town scale and one that brings the whole community together. Mia Montgomery, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Mia. So the Strawberry Festival opens today at 10 in the morning, goes till 1 in the morning. Tickets are $20. Admission is free and for children 12 years and younger and for military members and veterans. You can find more information on the Strawberry Festival in Poteet at KSAT.com.
All right, folks, time is 6:06. Temperature is 60 degrees.
Still to come on GMSA, this dad in Australia is pushing his way to a new world record. How many push-ups he was able to do in an hour, Jonathan?
I don't know. It looks pretty built.
Yeah, I would never be able.
And take a look out through live cam. The city is just looking beautiful. The lights are twinkling. It's 60 degrees. I stepped out this morning. It felt amazing, but we'll be checking in with Sarah to learn how the rest of the day is going to play out. Welcome back. San Antonio Sports will host one of the biggest cycling events in the city, and that's going to be happening today.
It's called the L'Etape de France Tour, and it is a part of Fiesta Fit happening at UTSA.
Alyssa Cole joining us now to tell us more details about it. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Jonathan, Sarah. Yes, the L'Etape de France Tour. You got it, Sarah. You got it. You nailed it with that one. It's early, right? But this is a really big event from San Antonio Sports that they're putting on. It's their second annual event with Fiesta Fit and with people are looking forward to it. It's going to start in less than an hour. It kicks off at 7 a.m., but there's 3 groups, right, for the cyclists. You'll have the folks that are doing the 100 miles, the 100 kilometers distance. You have them doing the 75, and you have them doing the 25. So 3 groups will be leaving the starting line starting at 7 a.m. this morning. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful tour. Of course, it's not of France, but it's of the Hill Country area. They'll be cycling outside of San Antonio across the Hill Country. I mean, just really, really pumping iron to really get a beautiful area view of this wonderful place where we live. We call home San Antonio, the Hill Country. Now, again, this is a part of Fiesta Fit. It's at UTSA's campus today. It'll be going until 3 p.m. It opens at 7 a.m. There will be a fitness village. There will be tons of vendors and wellness expos, if you will. That's free of charge just to get on the grounds. If you just want to see the cyclists take off and see this really cool event take place, it does start at 7 a.m. That's free as well, so you can be a part of that. But we will be live at 8 o'clock. We will be there to show you how awesome this event is, get a little interactive. I don't know, maybe we'll have our Photog Santiago ride on a bicycle or two. We'll see. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to send it over to you all, and we'll touch bases again in just a little bit.
Thank you, Alyssa. I would love to see Santiago.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Let's get Santiago on a bike.
Yeah, you know what? The weather today is going to be perfect for the cyclers, for anybody trying to enjoy some time outdoors today. I stepped outside this morning. The low humidity, it just felt amazing outside. And that's going to be the case today. It is cool this morning. It's 60 degrees in San Antonio. And I do expect for us to see temperatures go down by a couple more degrees over the next hour or so. It's 56 in Kerrville, 58 in New Braunfels, 63 in Uvalde, 55 in Rock Springs, Springs and 65 in Del Rio. Even cooler up in the northern parts of the Hill Country. Fredericksburg, you're at 54 this morning. Take a look at dew points too. They have really come down. Yesterday we were starting off with dew points in the 60s, and now dew points are in the 30s and 40s. That's at the very bottom of the scale there. We've got some nice, pleasant, drier air moving in, and it is a bit breezy. Every now and then we're seeing a wind gust up to 25 miles per hour. Right now we've got a 25 mile per hour wind gust at Stinson, 25 mile per hour wind gusts in New Braunfels. And actually, as we start to see the sun rise, our wind's going to pick up just a little bit. We could see wind gusts up to about 35 miles per hour over the next couple of hours until about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then throughout the day today, it's still going to be breezy. By noon, we'll have wind gusts of up to 25, but in the afternoon, those winds are really going to start to die down quite a bit, and it'll be less windy in the afternoon. So just a bit of a nuisance as far as the wind goes early today, but by the afternoon, nicely seeing some lowering of those winds, and it should end up being a really pleasant Sunday, even regardless of the winds, to be honest with you. Take a look at the weather setup across the nation. Snowfall across Minneapolis this morning, International Falls. This is that same system that moved through last night, brought us a cold front, brought a few storms for those south and east of San Antonio. We've got a high pressure system firmly in place, and that high pressure system is bringing beautiful abundant sunshine during the day today and continuing to funnel in that cooler air in from the north. So even though we're not going to get down into the 40s and 30s like they are in the Panhandle, we are going to continue to see that cooler air funneling in from the north. So it's going to end up being a lot cooler than yesterday when we were in the 90s. Take a look at the forecast for the day. This is your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Spending the morning in the 60s, 65 at 10. As we head into the afternoon, temperatures will start to warm into the 70s. Again, it's still going to be windy around the lunch hour, but those winds will die down in the later afternoon. 79 for the high. Again, some nearly 15 degrees cooler than the day yesterday. In your neighborhoods, it's going to be 77 in Boerne, 79 in Hondo, 77 in Floresville. It'll be 77 in Poteet for the Strawberry Festival today, 77 in New Braunfels, and 75 in Seguin. Now, that high pressure system in place is actually allowing for us to be dry. That's why it feels great outside. Watch what happens as we move forward to tomorrow. That high settles over Texas. It remains dry and pleasant tomorrow, but with that high moving off to the east, we're going to pull in that Gulf of Mexico moisture, and so by Tuesday morning, it is going to be humid, and that's one of the ingredients for some rain. So on Tuesday, I do think we're going to have some morning drizzle, some light rain. Coverage is only going to be about 30%, but still a bit of a hiccup for you, especially for those early morning commuters on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have a chance for isolated showers and storms too, about 30% coverage. Less so on Thursday and Friday, but these are really going to be hit or miss showers for the main part. So taking a look at the week, again, some morning light rain and drizzle on Tuesday, some isolated rain on Wednesday, but as Fiesta starts to kick off, really the biggest story for us on Thursday and Friday is going to be the heat and humidity. It'll be close to 90 degrees on Friday. You'll feel every degree there, but then a front moves through, sets up a pretty nice weekend for us next weekend. Our highs will only be in the low to mid 70s. Guys, were you out and about last night and saw the sky?
No.
Okay, there was amazing clouds and beautiful pictures sent in through our KSAT
Okay,
Connect
I
feature.
saw my neighbors across the street outside looking at the sky. I was like, am I missing something?
So coming up, I'm going to show you some of those pictures, and we're going to talk about the reason why the sky looked so amazing yesterday.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Time is 6:16. Temperature is 60 degrees.
Coming up, San Antonio FC had a championship rematch on the road in Kentucky yesterday, Jonathan.
That's right. They were trying to play against the team they beat in last year's title. The highlights before 6:30.
And after the break, if you need some inspiration to get in shape, I know I definitely do, a World War II veteran has 100 reasons for you. We'll explain next.
This morning, an Australian father has pushed his way to history.
Lucas Helmke has set a new world record after he completed more than 3,206 push-ups in 1 hour. So if you're trying to do the math, that comes out to almost 1 a second. The 33-year-old pulled off the feat at his gym in November, but Helmke says he was recently informed the record was approved. He told Guinness World Records it took him 2 to 3 years to build up the physical strength. He also says he wanted to inspire his 1-year-old son by showing him that nothing is impossible.
Oh, he sure did. And a man who just turned 100 years old today celebrated his birthday by bench pressing 100 pounds. Now, Werner Schlapitz is a World War II veteran and credits his trainer for helping him stay fit and for lifting his mood when he was down. His instructor says Werner never misses a workout and is working toward another goal. He plans to participate in the Senior Olympics this October.
Wow, that is inspiring. I don't think I could even bench.
Wow, talk about just raising the bar, Sarah.
Oh, there you go,
Here I am
Jonathan.
trying to get at least 20 push-ups a day.
Jonathan, I don't know if I even can do one push-up. And I'm like on my knees doing
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we're trying, but they're definitely setting the standard there. All right, folks, time is 6:21. Temperature is 60 degrees.
Up next, Jonathan,
The San Antonio Missions are having a rough start to the season. We'll look at why and as they wrap up their first homestand of the season. We had a USL Championship rematch last night in Kentucky with San Antonio FC taking on Louisville City FC. The Alamo City Club put the pressure on in the 4th minute of the play. Zico Bailey in front of a goal, but the keeper is there for the diving save. Great chance, but we're still scoreless. In the 23rd minute, the home team breaks through, cross in front, and Wilson Harris heads it up and over and diving Jordan Farr for the opening goal. Louisville City leads 1-0, and that's the only goal of the match. San Antonio FC falls for their first loss of the season, 1-0. On the baseball diamond, it's been a rough start to the season for the San Antonio Missions, who have a losing record after 8 games. One win came on Tuesday night in their home opener against the Frisco Rough Riders, but ultimately their offense has struggled, only scoring 10 runs in 7 games. However, for the first time in 3 games, the offense was the problem. The Missions won last night 4-1, and they are back in action, and that is not the problem for the final game of their homestand this afternoon at 1:05 p.m.
Let's go Missions.
That's right, let's go Missions. Time is 6:26 and 60 degrees.
Still to come at 6:30, a day on the job has deadly consequences for one man in a West Bexar County neighborhood. What we've learned about a second worker who was hurt. Plus,
people are going to hear her name and know a little bit about the life of McKenna.
Cowboys and cowgirls are settling up for a 2-day roping competition in Uvalde, honoring McKenna Elrod Sealer, who was killed at Robb Elementary. How her legacy will help another young woman's dream of going to college. Good morning at 6:30 on Sunday, April 16th. Filling in for my coworker Max Massey and joined by Sarah Acosta, which, by the way, I saw your fiesta decorations. They look beautiful.
Thank you. So I do all the filming and taking the pictures. My husband did everything. And he even, Sarah, I told him about the wind gusts that were coming yesterday, so he screwed everything in. They were stapled, but he screwed them in to make sure they stayed in place. And overnight, I walked out. I was like, oh, good. They all didn't blow away.
I think he gets Husband of the Year.
He does.
Pretty awesome. All right. So you know what? Outside right now, it's nice and cool. We've got low humidity from that front that moved through yesterday. Feels great out there. It's 55 in Kerrville, 58 in New Braunfels, 62 in Uvalde. It's 63 in Pleasanton. Good morning in Rock Springs. It's 54 degrees, 54 in Fredericksburg. Dry air moving in from the north feels awesome outside. In fact, dew points are down some 10 to 15 degrees, even down to 20 degrees from where they were yesterday. So we've moved all that humidity out of here, and it's going to be a beautiful day with that low humidity, not only today, but also tomorrow. Speaking of today, here's today's forecast for you. 65 at 10, 72 at noon, and 79 for the high today. So very nice compared to yesterday when we were in the 90s. Now, I promised an explanation of why the sky looked like this yesterday. Sarah said it looked like a mushroom cloud. Well, it was a distant thunderstorm, and we're going to talk a little bit about the science of why thunderstorms and thunderclouds look like this coming up in a bit. And of course, I'll get you ready for your week ahead.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Sarah. Happening today, San Antonio Sports will host one of the biggest cycling events here in the city.
That's right. It's called the L'Etape de France Tour, and it's a part of the Fiesta Fit happening today at UTSA.
Alyssa Cole joining us live now to tell us more about it. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Jonathan and Sarah. We're so excited. In just a few moments, we're going to head to UTSA to get a chance to see all those thousands of bikers take off from the starting line to tour around the hill country. Not France, but the hill country of San Antonio. And it's just going to be amazing. You're going to have bikers that go 100-mile or kilometer distance, 75 and 25, and they're all going to go staggered starting at 7 o'clock from the starting line. Now, Fiesta Fit, hosted by San Antonio Sports, that alone is a free event. So once you get to UTSA's campus and you want to go to the different vendors, the Wellness Expo, try the different food trucks, you can have access to that for free. There will be some exercise classes. There will be some other services offered that you can pay for, of course. And if you want to go to see the bikers take off and see them, do their thing, it'll be a really, really cool visual. That will be starting at 7 o'clock, and you can go see that as well for free. This event will be starting now. It's actually going to be opening up now at 7 a.m. in just a few moments, and it'll run until 3 o'clock. So it's for those early bird get the worm type folks, right? So if you're up right now and you want to be a part of this event, please swing by. We'll be there. We'll be happy to meet you and talk to you and get a chance to see this second annual event. It's really, shaping up to look like something very historic and impactful, because that's the purpose of this event. It's to impact the community in a health-wise way to, get your body ready for Fiesta the next weekend. So we'll be touching bases with you all again for our 8 o'clock show. That's when we get a chance to go inside the athletic village there at Fiesta Fit with San Antonio Sports, and we get a chance to show you behind the scenes. So we'll do that again at 8 o'clock. Enjoy this. I'll send it back to you all.
Thank you, Alyssa. This morning, Bexar County Sheriff's investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly construction accident in West Bexar County.
One man was killed and another injured when huge metal pipes fell from a truck and hit them.
Katrina Weber reports neighbors also have questions.
The patrol cars gave it away right away that this was no ordinary day on the job in this construction zone. Bexar County deputies were the first to find out after answering a call just after noon. 2 workers somehow had ended up in the path of heavy metal pipes as they tumbled from this flatbed truck.
They were unloading the load of pipes. Sometime during that point, the load became unstable.
One of the men, a 52-year-old, was hit in the head and killed. Another suffered a shoulder injury and was taken to a hospital. Just one of those pipes alone would be a crushing weight indeed, based on what I was told by one of the workers. Each one of those, depending on the lining, could weigh more than a ton. Both men were part of a crew, contractors, working an ongoing job to install gas lines in this area along West Military near North Grossenbacher Road.
It's just heartbreaking. We see them all the time, coming and going, working every day.
Monica Solis and her family had no idea what they were seeing today as they headed home and found streets in their neighborhood shut down.
I wondered what was going on, why we couldn't get home, and just told them an accident happened.
Deputies also told OSHA, the federal agency that investigates workplace accidents like this. It's unclear what they found or how long this work site will be shut down. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
In your morning headlines, the Rutgers University faculty strike has ended after an agreement between the university and labor union representatives. The faculty strike began this past Monday, and classes will resume tomorrow morning. The president of Rutgers says the agreement provides fair and equitable wages, benefits, and work conditions for the faculty, graduate students, and part-time lecturers.
A North Carolina man is still a little numb after he had a close encounter with the bear. Check this video out right now. David Oppenheimer was relaxing on his lounge chair, as you see, outside his home in North Carolina when his motion detector sounded an alarm. He turned around, didn't see anything, but moments later, a bear was staring him. Ooh, see, a little startled there, staring him in the face. Both were obviously startled. David grabbed a pillow. He admits his body froze. The bear did not move towards him and instead ran off. Oppenheimer says he noticed the same bear looking through his trash cans in the past.
It was the eye-to-eye stare for me. Back here at home, this year's San Antonio Book Festival drew thousands of book lovers together to meet and talk with authors, both local and from around the country. The festival was held at the newly renovated Central Library and the Southwest School of Art. More than 100 authors were featured this year. Visitors of all ages met prolific authors, had their books signed, celebrated their love for books, reading, and the yearning to learn. The event also included panels and discussions on the importance of literature and how stories can serve as reflections of ourselves.
6:37 and 59 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, the San Antonio Brahmas got a huge win in front of the home crowd in the Alamo Dome, and now they'll need some help to make the playoffs. Plus,
it's a hard day today, thinking back a year ago, but it's a good day to be here and honoring her and remembering her.
Cowboys and cowgirls saddling up for a two-day roping competition in Uvalde, honoring McKenna Elrod Seller, who was killed at Robb Elementary. Up next, how her legacy will help another woman's dream of going to college come true.
taking a look outside with live cam. San Antonio, it's 59 degrees. It feels nice now. We'll see how the temperature is going to play out for the rest of the day and the week. We'll be checking in with Sarah Spivey.
San Antonio police say they have a suspect in custody after a shooting outside of a bar early this morning just south of downtown. It happened around 2 in the morning at Thirsty's SA Bar. That's on South Presa Street. SAPD says a fight broke out and a staff member stepped in to try to keep the peace. That's when a man pulled out a gun and shot 2 people, including the staff member who's taken to BAMC in critical condition. The other person who was shot was grazed by the bullet and is expected to be okay.
Meanwhile, San Antonio firefighters say an electrical issue sparked an apartment fire this morning on the city's north side. Flames broke out in the attic of a vacant unit at the Lark Apartments on the 1400 block of Patricia Drive. That's near Blanco Road and Wurzbach. Now, firefighters were able to put it out quickly and save the building. However, the people that lived in the unit below will be staying with family while management relocates them. No injuries were reported.
Well, the family of McKenna Elrod Seiler came together this weekend for a roping competition and scholarship presentation in honor of the 10-year-old who was killed at Robb Elementary.
Next week would have been her 11th birthday. Her mom and dad tell KSAT's Lee Waldman this was the perfect way to honor their animal-loving little girl.
Hundreds of cowboys and cowgirls saddled up for a 2-day roping competition in the Uvalde County Fairplex, all in honor of a brown-eyed girl.
When I thought about having a roping, I know that those saddles and buckles would last forever, long beyond us. And it's my hope that in 100 years, someone might find one of those in a barn and see her name and speak her name.
McKenna Elrod Seiler, the 2-stepping horse lover he wrote this song about.
First time she called me daddy, it took my breath away.
People are going to hear her name and know a little bit about the life of McKenna.
McKenna loved the color purple, butterflies, and looked just like her mama, April Elrod. This time last year, April's yard was filled with McKenna's friends.
Happy birthday, dear McKenna. Happy birthday to you.
Some of the other angels were there, so it's a hard day today, thinking back a year ago, but it's a good day to be here and honoring her and remembering her.
They know McKenna would love seeing the arena filled with ropers and parking lot packed with barbecue pits. Even more, she'd be honored that her legacy is helping another young woman's dreams of college come true.
Young lady, that scholarship is $20,000.
Each time I back into the box, a little bit of McKenna will be with me. So as long as I'm going, McKenna's memory will be too.
These prizes, the belt buckles, spurs, and saddles, will be given away to today's champions from the roping and barbecue events. Seiler tells me they're hoping to bring this back every year on the Saturday closest to McKenna's birthday on the 19th. He hopes next year's scholarship will be even more than this year. In Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, Lee, for bringing us that story at 6:44 and 59 degrees.
Absolutely. And you know, last night, again, the sky was lit up gorgeously across San Antonio. As you looked south and east, this was the view. Take a look at your screen here. Some of the pictures sent in through our KSAT Connect feature. Isn't that awesome?
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It looks like it's photoshopped.
I know, almost, right? I'll tell you what, this is a storm chaser's dream to get a backlit thunderstorm off in the distance. This is another great picture sent in to us through our KSAT Connect feature. Here we go, another one off in the distance. This is from Sisterdale, so all the way up in the hill country, we were still seeing these storms off in the distance. And then I love this one. It is absolutely beautiful. You see the hill country there on the foreground, and in the background, that beautiful storm. And here is what that looked like on the radar last night. This is last night at about 8 o'clock in the evening. You can see there was a storm here, a severe warned storm out down near Pleasanton, severe storm out in Lavaca County too. These storms actually did produce some quarter to golf ball sized hail. But what was amazing is that we were able to see the structure of this storm from San Antonio, some 40 miles away, and then off to the west, some about 82 miles away, because it was beautiful and clear around San Antonio. We were able to see off in those distances there. And some may be asking, why does the storm look like this off in the distance? Well, here's a little background for you. So what you're seeing, this is some 30 to 60 miles away. What you're seeing here is the top of the thunderstorm that we call the anvil. So storms and clouds can only grow here closer to the ground. Once you get up to the stratosphere, that's about 30,000 feet up in the air, you cannot have clouds develop. They don't develop in the stratosphere. That's why planes fly up in the stratosphere, so they can avoid any kind of turbulence. So as the storm grows vertically, it flattens out when it gets to the stratosphere. And that's what we're seeing here, the flattening out of those storms. Also, notice how there's streakiness here. It kind of looks wispy. That's actually the cold part of the storm, or the snow part of the storm. So up in the atmosphere, you get snow develop. As it falls down, it melts into rain. And depending on how strong the storm is, it can even have some hail like those storms did last night. So thank you to those pictures and those viewers who send in those pictures to our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. Outside right now, we're dealing with a front that had moved through, so it feels great. Low humidity, 60 degrees. Winds are a bit breezy. We're seeing the occasional gust up to 25, 30 miles per hour. And that's going to be the case this morning for us, but we will be looking at those winds dying down later on in the afternoon. So a cool start to the day, maybe a light jacket if you're in Bulverde, where it's 58, 55 in Comfort, 58 in Rio Medina, and 58 in Seguin. Drier air has moved in. Dew points are only in the 30s and 40s. That's pretty close to the bottom of the scale there. And as you look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, it's going to be a lovely day if you don't mind the wind in the morning. 65 at 10, and then around noon it'll be 72. As we head into the afternoon, only 79 for the high, so close to 80 degrees, but some 10, 15 degrees cooler than where we were at yesterday. It's going to be a gorgeous day anywhere across south central Texas. Here's a look at those forecast highs around the KSAT 12 viewing area. 82 in Del Rio, 81 in Uvalde. Hondo, you'll be at 79, 77 in Canyon Lake, 77 in Kerrville, 78 in Pleasanton, 82 in Cotulla. Neighborhood view around San Antonio, Seguin, 75 today. Poteet, 77 for the Strawberry Festival. It's going to be a gorgeous day in Poteet. Now, that low humidity will stick with us today. Humidity will stay low tomorrow in the 50s, but then by Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to be humid again, oppressively so. And so we will have a chance for some morning drizzle and light rain on Tuesday. On Wednesday, about 30% coverage. Fiesta on Thursday. We're so excited for Fiesta here in San Antonio and at KSAT. It'll be a little humid start to Fiesta on Thursday and Friday with highs in near 90, but then a front moves through Friday night. It'll set up a nicer Saturday for us.
Yeah, no more 90s. Yesterday, what was it, like 92, 93?
Yeah, it was hot.
It was.
It really was.
It was like, and then it was also like that windy. It was like a blow dryer, just like in your face.
I know, right?
It was gross.
But at least we got to see that beautiful view in the evening.
Absolutely, and looking forward to that cold front later. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Time is 6:49, temperature 59 degrees.
Still ahead before 7, Fiesta. Off to a great start, and you have a chance to burn off some of those calories this weekend with a little flair. How you can get started later this morning.
And taking a look outside San Antonio, this is US 90 at Nogalitos. A Hero truck there on the side, but other than that, traffic seems to be flowing just fine. The pressure is on for the San Antonio Brahmas. 2 home wins and 2 Renegade losses clinch a playoff berth, and it started last night against the Orlando Guardians in the Alamo Dome. Former Bernie High School quarterback Quinton Dormady drives the Guardians right down the field and finds Jordan Thomas for the 4-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion is good, and Orlando leads 8-0 late first half. Brahmas down 14-3. Quarterback Jack Cohn airs it out and finds Nick Hawley for a gain of 34 yards all the way down to the 6-yard line. Next play, Zach Patrick goes in for the touchdown, and San Antonio trails 14-10 at halftime. Third quarter now, trailing 14-13. The Brahmas take their first lead of the game on this pass from Cohn that beats the blitz for a 28-yard touchdown. Fourth quarter, Guardians looking to rally. Nope. Normandy is intercepted by Drew Beasley, and he takes it back 20 yards for a pick six that holds up as the game-winning play. San Antonio wins a wild one 25-23. They need Arlington to lose later today to stay alive.
And after week 1 victory, the San Antonio Gunslingers hit the road to take on the Jacksonville Sharks. Fourth quarter game tied at 42. Arvell Nelson escapes and throws. The ball is deflected off the back net and caught by Khalid Rashad. In the Arena League, the net keeps the ball alive, so that's a touchdown. The Gunslingers go on to win a wild game 63-62 in overtime and improve to 2-0.
All right, time is 6:54, temperature 59 degrees.
Here's what's coming up at 7 on Good Morning America.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, new details in that top secret document leak. The suspected leaker now facing up to 15 years behind bars, and the mounting questions surrounding his access to such highly classified material. Plus, urgent search at sea for 3 Americans last heard from off the coast of Mexico 12 days ago, headed for San Diego. What officials and their families are now saying. And round 1 of the NBA playoffs now underway. More on the big moments overnight as the fight for that championship ring is just getting started. It's all ahead right here on GMA.
So this weekend, you still have several chances to get out and get moving. San Antonio Sports Annual Fiesta Fit Fest continues this morning, 7 a.m. with the San Antonio Cycle Race.
There's also beer yoga this morning at 11, which is a free fitness class. Yeah, I like that. Proceeds benefit the nonprofit San Antonio Sports and its youth programs.
And if you would like to be a Royal for the day, don't forget to join our KSAT Insider membership and sign up for this unique experience. One lucky winner, along with 3 guests, will ride on a private float during the Battle of Flowers parade.
And don't forget, we're also offering tickets to our parade viewing party for the Battle of Flowers. You can head over to our website, KSAT.com, for more information on how you can get your hands on a ticket. And there are still plenty of them to claim, so make sure you go to our website.
And you can also read more about what's included in your ticket purchase, including great seats, 2 tacos, a drink, and this is very important, private restrooms that are actually very, very clean, and access to a cash bar. And right now, also on KSAT.com, we have everything you need to know ahead of Fiesta, event schedules, news, how you can watch the parades, those parades route. All you have to do is take out your phone, open your camera app, and scan this QR code on your screen right now. That'll take us to our Fiesta homepage.
Light little jacket out there this morning as it's 58 degrees in San Antonio, 55 in Kerrville, 58 in Seguin, 58 in Converse, and 60 in Uvalde. Today calls for a quick warm up under sunny skies and a little bit of a wind with winds from the north at 10 to 20, but a beautiful day. I like the 70s more than I like the 90s, that's for sure. We have enough hot days out there in the summer. Now tomorrow will be a little bit warmer, but still very pleasant with low humidity. Some morning drizzle and rain return on Tuesday as humidity returns. It'll be humid on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with only isolated showers in the forecast. Front arrives Friday night. That cools us down for next weekend.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, folks, make sure to go get your coffee, get some breakfast. We'll see you right back here at 8.
For those doing beer and yoga right now at 7 a.m., hey, have fun.
Head out there.
We'll see you guys at 8 a.m.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Taking a look outside with live cam, the sun is out. San Antonio's looking beautiful this morning. It's 58 degrees. We'll be checking in with Sarah Spivey to learn how today and the rest of the week will be playing out. Good morning, San Antonio. It's 8 o'clock on this beautiful Sunday morning. Joined by Sarah Acosta. I'm filling in for Max Massey.
Happy to have you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Sarah.
So you said yesterday you kind of just stayed inside.
We just stayed inside. After 5 p.m., I did not go outside.
Good.
I had to wake up extra early because of that thunderstorm, so I definitely caught my Z's for sure.
Yes, because yesterday at 5 p.m., I tried to go walk the dogs, and I said, I'm going to wait for another hour or so, Sarah Spivey, because it was like blow dryer, hot air.
Absolutely. We got up to 93 degrees yesterday, guys, in San Antonio. Needless to say, temperatures today will be some 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. I do want to put on your radar, though, that we do have a busy pollen count. Oaks are actually high today. They're past 800. Molds are moderate, too, and pecan and pine are present, but in low amounts. As we take a look outside right now, beautiful sunshine. Totally gorgeous out there. It's 59 degrees right now, and winds are starting to pick up a little bit. We're seeing a wind from the northeast at about 15 miles per hour, gusts up to 30. We'll have a windy morning this morning, but winds will die down later on in the day. So as we look at the day today, gorgeous and sunny, 72 at noon, 79 for the high. I'll take 79 over 93 any day, and winds are going to be from the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So coming up in the forecast, here's what we'll talk about. Today's beautiful weather will continue to be nice tomorrow too, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, humidity does return and we will have some light rain in the forecast. I'll be detailing those rain chances coming up in a bit, and then by the end of the week, it'll be just humid and warm as we kick off Fiesta. So lots to talk about in the forecast. I'll have a look ahead in just a few minutes. Jonathan, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. San Antonio police say they have a suspect in custody after a shooting outside a bar early this morning just south of downtown. It happened around 2 in the morning at Thirsty's SA Bar on South Presses Street. Police say a fight broke out and a staff member stepped in to try to keep the peace. That's when a man pulled out a gun and shot 2 people, including that staff member who was taken to BAMC in critical condition. The other person who was shot was grazed by a bullet and is expected to be okay.
Meanwhile, San Antonio firefighters say an electrical issue sparked an apartment fire this morning on the city's north side. Flames broke out in the attic of a vacant unit at the Lark Apartments on the 1400 block of Patricia Drive. That's near Blanco Road and Wurzbach. Now, firefighters were able to put it out quickly and save the building. Now, the people that live in the unit below will be staying with family while management relocates them. It's important to note that no injuries were reported.
Man in his 20s is lucky to be alive this morning after San Antonio police say 3 men armed with rifles went to his job and shot at him multiple times. This happened just before 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday at the Church's Chicken in the 1800 block of West Hildebrand Avenue. That's not far from West Avenue. Officers say 3 suspects parked, then went inside, each one carrying a rifle, and started shooting at the man working the register. The suspects then took off. We're told that the man that was shot at was not hit by any of those bullets. Police say he was hit by shrapnel. He was taken to the hospital as a precaution. So far, police don't have a motive for the shooting, and they still have not caught those suspects.
A man was arrested and charged with murder in connection with a cold case. Listen to this, from over 40 years ago. That's according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Larry Allen West was arrested Thursday in connection with the murder of Carol Joyce De Leon on June 4th, 1981. An autopsy revealed that De Leon died from multiple gunshot wounds. Investigators tried to identify De Leon by her fingerprints, but were unsuccessful. She was buried as a Jane Doe in New Braunfels. In 2009, through DNA technology, authorities were able to identify the remains as those of De Leon's before her death. De Leon lived in the West Avenue area of San Antonio and graduated from Thomas Edison High School.
San Antonio police are asking for the public's help finding 2 suspects who they say robbed a gas station. So take a look at your screen. This happened on April 8th in the 2500 block of Southeast Military at Murphy USA gas station. Do you recognize these people? Police say these 2 suspects grabbed some items, then held up the cashier at gunpoint. One even jumped behind the counter, then demanded money. The cashier did comply and put money into their bag. Anyone with any information, or if you recognize these people on your screen right now, you can call that Crime Stoppers number. Remember, it's 210-224, then the word STOP, S-T-O-P.
Health inspectors recently suspended the license of a longtime Chinese restaurant on Broadway, the same place that was in the news last year when illegal shark fins were found by state inspectors.
KSAT's Tim Gerber stopped by this week and was invited behind the kitchen door, but he left wondering whether the business was still even in business.
Van's Chinese seafood restaurant located in the 3200 block of Broadway was forced to shut down following a February inspection. Their big problem? Plumbing issues. There was no hot water and a cap was missing from the plumbing that caused a foul odor when the water ran. Small live pests were also seen in the business. The inspector gave them a score of 79 but forced them to close until hot water could be restored. Pest control services were hired and all fees were paid. The restaurant was closed when I stopped by, but someone eventually answered the door.
I just wanted to follow up on your recent inspection that you guys had.
Tan Yen Wen says he's not the owner, just the chef, but agreed to take us behind the kitchen door. He says they were only shut down for a day.
The inspector, they let me open up after I pay for this one.
Right.
He also said they hired pest control.
Yeah, I already got it. I showed it to the inspector last month.
Okay.
Yeah, everything I'm doing, but I don't want to spend more money to fix it up now.
While the business was allowed to reopen, he said they're no longer in operation.
I want to get out of here. I don't want to do it, and then everything. I'm too old.
So you're closing? I mean, you're not even open anymore.
Yeah, we only cook for my family.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. He says they've been struggling since COVID hit. The business also got hit with a string of negative publicity last year when a state game warden seized more than $25,000 worth of shark fins from the business. After that, it took city health inspectors several attempts to even get inside for an inspection. Records show inspectors tried in June, October, November, and December last year, and again in January and February of this year before finally being allowed inside. Wen said it was just because they haven't been open. But then he also said this.
So are you opening at 5:30 on some days?
Yeah, sometimes the family sometimes come in.
So are they open or not? It seems to depend on the day. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
Wen and two other people associated with the restaurant were charged with several misdemeanors related to possession of those shark fins. KSAT Investigates asked the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department for an update on the status of that case, and a spokesperson says the investigation now is in the hands of U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Wen has denied any wrongdoing.
And happening right now, San Antonio Sports hosting their second annual Fiesta Fit Festival at UTSA. It's a new traditional twist on celebrating health and wellness the weekend before Fiesta.
Alyssa Cole joining us live at the starting line of the bicycle tour across the hill country of San Antonio. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Jonathan, Sarah. It has been just lively out here, bright and early in the morning. We are really enjoying the beginning, the kickoff of Le Tap San Antonio. Now, we did just get here just before they took off not too long ago, but we have some video to show you later to see that really cool takeoff. You all are really going to enjoy it. But joining me now is Jeremy Kine, and he is one of the visionary partners of Le Tap San Antonio. Good morning, Jeremy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. So a lot of folks at home may be wondering, what is Le Tap San Antonio?
Le Tap San Antonio is a mass participation cycling event. We have something for everyone. We kind of work with the mantra of race it, ride it, or try it. So we have races from 10 miles for just beginners all the way to 100 miles for the more professional or serious cyclist.
Perfect. And, you know, a lot of folks out there, they're cycling right now, the 100 miles. How long does that take? Are they just going to be out there all morning? Or?
Yeah, some of them are riding up to around, 25, 30 miles an hour. So we could be expecting them back in just under 4 hours.
Wow. And we actually have some celebrities, if you will, some honorary folks we should mention that's a part of our event here in San Antonio.
Yeah, we've got a couple of really famous tall people on bikes out there today. A couple of your really good basketball players of yesteryear, I think. And then we also have Jens Voigt, famous Tour de France cyclist out there as well.
Wonderful. That's something good to know for folks looking to be a part of it next year. And my last question, I won't keep you long, Jeremy. I know you're busy. You know, why San Antonio? We know this is popular around the world, very popular in stance. L'Étape means stage, the Tour de France. But you all chose San Antonio for a reason.
Yeah, I think number one, it's a beautiful cycling community here, a great group of people, and also like the backcountry just north of UTSA makes for beautiful riding, and so the combination of having the cycling community and also the excellent terrain makes for a great course.
Jeremy, I appreciate you taking out the time this morning, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, absolutely, anytime. You all, this is going to be open until 3 o'clock today. The Wellness Expo, the different vendors. I mean, we have a stretching booth that we're trying to check out later for the 8:30, so stick with us so we can tell you about that. Free to come on the grounds. There's different exercise and fitness classes you can pay for, but come out and join us. It'll be going on until 3 o'clock at UTSA. I'll send it back to you all, Jonathan, Sarah.
Thank you, Alyssa. And we'll also be keeping an eye out for that beer yoga. So we need more information, more details on that. All right, folks, time is 8:11. Temperature is 58 degrees.
So coming up next, how a local community center offers support and resources to those who may not know exactly where to go for help.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's 58 degrees. It feels good out this morning, but we'll be checking in with Sarah to see how the rest of the weekend and the rest of the week is going to be playing out for us.
Well, yesterday was West Care's Spring Resource Fair at the Ella Austin Community Center. Various community outreach programs attended to give so much needed love and care to the people of San Antonio. Organizations like the San Antonio Food Bank handed out food and snack packs to those in need, and Metro Health provided immunizations and COVID-19 booster shots, as well as resources for physical and mental health.
We provide them with the necessary resources that are necessary for them to understand that nothing is too hard for them to obtain.
Supplies like water bottle cases and hand sanitizer were given out, all for West Care's cause of uplifting the human spirit.
And that was the sounds from 10 different bands coming together to blend their respective sounds into one. As part of the second annual Community Band Music Festival, the Greater San Antonio Community Band Association hosted the event yesterday, partnering musicians throughout the area, offering them a special opportunity to perform for the public.
Speaking of bands, our very own Jonathan Cotto.
You were a drum major.
Give us a 4-4 real quick.
I was a 4-4. That's one. That's a 4-4 there. Yeah, and I was also a tuba player. So of all instruments, I decided to play the tuba. Can you believe that?
Gosh, that's so cool.
I just adore you.
Yeah.
I love
Thank
that.
you. I'm glad you find it cute. My mom was like, couldn't you play the saxophone?
No, I love that.
The tuba is great.
Tuba players are fun.
The tuba has personality.
It does. Yeah. It absolutely does. You know, today's weather is going to be perfect, like the tuba. Outside today, we're going to be seeing sunshine, comfortable temperatures, 59 degrees here in San Antonio. A little cool. You might need a jacket in Kerrville, where it's 55, 53 in Fredericksburg. Good morning in Del Rio. It's 63. Gonzales, 57, and 61 in Pleasanton. The first thing you notice when you step outside is the pleasantly low humidity. Dew points have come down quite a bit since a front moved through yesterday. Yesterday we were waking up very muggy. Dew points were in the 60s. Now, dew points are only in the 30s. It feels great outside. Well, you may need a little extra chapstick during the day. It's pretty dry out there. We're seeing winds from the north at about 15 miles per hour. At times, we're seeing gusts up to 25 miles per hour. And we are going to see this gusty conditions continue for the morning. Wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour possible. But by the afternoon, those winds will start to come down, and it should end up being a pleasant day, even in spite of a bit of a breeze from the north. Here's a look at the weather setup across the nation. We saw this very dynamic system move through yesterday. Notice up in parts of Minnesota, we're still seeing some snow. This is the parent low to that cold front that moved through, bringing high pressure system in place over Texas. High means dry. So as you can see, it is nice and dry and sunny as that high pressure system settles over. And we're going to continue with that north wind. So it's cold up in the Panhandle right now, 35 in Amarillo and 36 in Lubbock. Although we won't be getting down into the 30s and 40s, we are going to have cooler than average weather, not only today, but tomorrow as well. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast, here's how the day stacks up. It's going to be gorgeous. Have I said that? It's going to be really beautiful today. Spending the morning in the 60s. By noon, though, we'll start to get into the 70s. So great for any kind of Sunday brunches or anything like that. Eat that outside because it's going to be gorgeous outdoors if you have the chance. Just know that those winds are going to be breezy at times. 79 degrees for the high temperature. And then later on tonight, we'll see temperatures fall into the 60s after sunset. A gorgeous day. Highs in your neighborhood: 80 at Los Maples in Utopia, 75 in Seguin. Helotes, you'll be at 75 degrees, 77 in Poteet for the Strawberry Festival, 77 in Kerrville, 77 in Canyon Lake, and 77 in Floresville. So that high pressure system is in place. It's making it nice and dry. We're really going to see that high be the main dominant weather factor tomorrow too. So Monday is going to be really pleasant with low humidity. Air moves around a high in a clockwise fashion. So as this high moves off to the east, it's going to pick up that Gulf of Mexico moisture, and by Tuesday morning, the humidity is going to be back. Not only are you going to feel the humidity, but you may even be able to see the humidity in the form of some drizzle and also some light rain in the morning. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got about 30% chance for some isolated showers and storms, especially on Tuesday. Again, in the morning, that's when we could see some of that drizzle and light rain. Thursday and Friday, our rain chances are much less, pretty slim. You'll be lucky if you see any rain on Thursday and Friday. As for temperatures, again, comfortable tomorrow after a cool start, right near 80 degrees. We'll be in the 70s on Tuesday with a little extra cloud cover from that morning drizzle and light rain. 81 on Wednesday. By Thursday and Friday, it starts to get a little toasty out there with high humidity and highs in the mid to upper 80s. Then a front arrives on Saturday and cools us down nicely for the start of next weekend. Guys, last night, San Antonio was treated to a beautiful sight, some distant thunderstorms. I'm going to show your pictures of how gorgeous the sunset was last night and talk a little bit about the science behind why those clouds kind of look like mushroom clouds. It was really interesting.
This is very cool. You don't want to miss this.
Yeah, next half hour.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Time is 8:20, temperature 59 degrees.
An unusual sea creature, look at your screen right now, washed up on the Texas shore. What is that? So next, what experts are saying it could be and what people think it is.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Listen, many people are trying to figure out what an unusual sharp-teethed sea creature that surfaced on the Texas shore is.
I found myself really looking at this picture for a long time, because you're going to want to look at your screen in just a second. So one woman found this sea animal on Thursday, washed up on the coast, posted a picture of it. So just take a long look at that. You might have to even get closer to your screen. That photo gained so much attention. Some people commented asking if it could be alien remains, a kraken, or even a sea urchin.
The science director of coastal fisheries saw the image and couldn't identify the species, but said it's most likely from a large sport fish. We want to hear from you all and what you think this unsightly creature is. You can let us know in the comments on this article on KSAT.com.
You can also go to our KSAT, either KSAT.com or our Instagram page, where you could zoom in and really look at it. And so it looks like a lot of teeth, gills.
I have no idea what it is.
It's definitely part of a sea creature.
Yeah.
Maybe the mouth. I don't know. We need to be exploring our deep sea.
Yeah, more deep sea explorations, but let us know what you think it is. All right, folks, time is 8:25. Temperature is 59 degrees.
Okay, last year they were busted for having shark fins in their freezer, and now a longtime Chinese restaurant is struggling to keep their doors open. We'll talk about that in just a bit.
Good morning, San Antonio. I'm Jonathan Cotto.
I'm Sarah Acosta. It's Sunday, April 15th. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. And this morning, the wind, is it calmed down? Last night, Sarah?
It could be an issue.
Those wind gusts were a little crazy.
It was a little breezy last night.
Yeah.
And today we're still breezy in the morning, but those winds are going to die down a little bit later today. So it's going to be a gorgeous Sunday, though. It's going to be hard to complain about the weather whatsoever. Temperatures this morning on the cool side. It's 56 in Bandera and in Comfort, 61 at Sinson, 60 in Hondo. Good morning in Uvalde at 60 degrees, 58 in Gonzales. And today's forecast, I mean, this is hard to argue with. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Sunny skies, 72 by noon, 79 in the afternoon for the high. North winds at 10 to 20. We'll get a couple of days of low humidity in the week ahead, but by the middle of the week, humidity does return. I'll be talking about that a little bit more in the full forecast, but we're going to spend some time and talk about how awesome the view was last night. This is a look from our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. Take a look at that mushroom cloud thunderstorm. I'm going to show some of your pictures and talk a little bit about the science behind how this happened coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, it's still unclear when work will resume in a construction site on West Bexar County where one worker was killed and another injured. Both men were hit by heavy metal pipes that fell from a flatbed truck around noon on Saturday. A 52-year-old suffered a head injury and was killed. The other man hurt his shoulder and was taken to a hospital. Both are part of a crew installing gas lines at the time on West Military, that's not far from North Grossenbacher Road.
They were unloading the load of pipes. Sometime during that point, the load became unstable.
It's just heartbreaking. We see them all the time, you know, coming and going, working every day.
Neighbors were both saddened and shocked by what happened. A team from OSHA, the federal agency that investigates workplace accidents, was called in to look into what went wrong at the site.
A two-day roping competition in Uvalde honoring one of the Robb Elementary victims wrapped up Saturday. The event was in honor of McKenna Elrod Seiler, who would have turned 11 next Wednesday. McKenna was an avid animal lover. To honor her memory and help others like her, McKenna's dad, Chris Seiler, created a foundation and scholarship in her name. He hopes this will keep McKenna's legacy alive for decades to come.
I thought about having a rope, and I know that those saddles and buckles would last forever, long beyond us. And it's my hope that in 100 years, someone might find one of those in a barn and see her name and speak her name.
Carly Martinez is the first recipient of McKenna's scholarship. She was awarded $20,000 to go to Southwest Texas Junior College in Uvalde and plans to study business. This roping competition will be held year after year on the Saturday closest to McKenna's birthday.
Now to the national security document link. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in the Far East this weekend, likely facing questions about it as he prepares for the G7 meeting in Japan today.
Meanwhile, the young Massachusetts Air National Guardsman accused of leaking the documents and posting them on a gamers forum is days away from another court appearance. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulte with the latest.
The world watching back in February as the U.S. shot down that Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina. Now, those highly classified Pentagon documents leaked on the internet, revealing there reportedly were more. The Washington Post obtaining some of the leaked files, showing U.S. intelligence agencies knew of 4 additional spy balloons that flew over the continental U.S. earlier this year. The Post also reporting those materials show another balloon flew over a U.S. carrier strike group in the Pacific Ocean. The documents posted on the social media chat service Discord, allegedly by National Guardsman Jack Teixeira, the 21-year-old now charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information and willful retention of classified documents.
There are very serious penalties associated with that, and we intend to send that message, how important it is to our national security.
Teixeira had a top-secret security clearance as part of his job managing IT systems. Officials say he copied the materials and then shared them online.
These individuals need to be able to get on the system, but if they open a document that they have no need to know, then that should trigger some kind of warning to a supervisor so they can investigate why this individual would be looking at this document and certainly why they would be printing it.
The leaks also detailing battle plans and munition supplies in Ukraine. The White House saying there will be action.
I've instructed the department to make sure that they get to the root of why he had access in the first place, number one. And number two, to focus extensively on the extent to which it all occurred.
Teixeira's family has military ties. His mother volunteers with a veterans group, and his stepfather retired after serving 34 years in the same unit as Teixeira. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
A pregnant woman suspected of shoplifting was shot in a Walgreens parking lot by a store employee. This happening in Nashville, Tennessee. That woman fighting for her life to survive this morning. Her baby, born premature, is alive and undergoing treatment at a hospital. The employee is claiming he shot the 24-year-old in self-defense. He told police that the woman allegedly took cosmetics and various items from the store and left without paying. He then followed the woman out in the store and claimed another woman pulled a can of mace and began spraying at him. That's when he pulled out a gun and shot the pregnant woman 4 times. Nashville police are still investigating this shooting.
And the U.S. Coast Guard and the Mexican Navy are searching for 3 American sailors who were last heard from April 4th. The sailors have been identified as Carrie O'Brien, Frank O'Brien, and William Gross. They were en route to San Diego from Mexico in a joint statement. Their families say the 3 are all experienced sailors. The Coast Guard says they had planned to stop in Cabo San Lucas on April 6th for provisions, but there is no record of them arriving. Now, officials say marinas throughout Baja have been contacted, but there have been no sightings of the vessel.
The Federal Aviation Administration approved a license to launch SpaceX Starship rocket. Now, SpaceX says it's aiming to launch early tomorrow morning. NASA selected the SpaceX Starship as the ship it would use to send astronauts to the moon's surface. In 2021, SpaceX won a $2.9 billion contract to build this rocket. SpaceX plans to lift off out of its facility in South Texas. It'll then fly over parts of Florida and circle the Earth before touching down off the coast of Hawaii. And happening right now in San Antonio, sports hosting a 2nd annual Fiesta Fit Festival at UTSA. It's a new traditional way of celebrating health and wellness the weekend before Fiesta.
That's right, and Alyssa Cole is there. She's joining us live at the Wellness Fitness Village, where vendors are promoting all things health.
Good morning, Jonathan, Sarah. Yes, I am here at UTSA at Fitness at the Fiesta Fit, and we are so excited. And as you mentioned, Jonathan, the different wellness vendors, the healthcare experts, they're out here too, a part of this event, and we are excited to join University Health here in the Athletes Village. And I am joined by Farah. She's going to introduce herself and tell us all about this health course and what they're promoting today. Good morning, Farah.
Hi, good morning. My name is Farah Smith, and I'm with the Injury Prevention Department at University Health. And April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And so what we have out here today is a course to help really drive home how dangerous distracted driving can be to our pedestrians and our cyclists and all those people who just want to enjoy the sidewalk in the city.
Perfect. Talk about what we're about to do.
Okay, so we're about to use our pedal cars, and we're going to text Fit Fest is fun while we try to avoid all the potential pedestrians or pets or cyclists or runners in our neighborhood.
Perfect, perfect. So I'm going to take your mic so we can go ahead and give it a try. Caitlin, I know you can hear me back there. I have you pulled up, and we're going to try to text you that message that Farah just said. So we're about to take off. I'm going to follow Farah. Caitlin, here we go. Here we go. Let's send this message. We're taking off, folks. We're taking off. Fiesta's next weekend, and this is all about making sure that people are encouraged to drive sober and get a designated driver. And you know, I'm trying to drive and text you, Caitlin. It's not working out. Fitness, fit, fun. This is what we're doing. Let me know if you got the message. To be honest, don't tell anybody this, you all. I think I'm a pro at it, right? Because in news, we multitask all the time. Caitlin, I hear you. She just approved that she got it. But no, you all, Fiesta is coming up. We have been talking with authorities and police, DPS troopers. They are asking folks to drive sober. We have Memorial Day weekend coming up in a little bit of a month, so keep that in mind. You want to keep yourself safe, your neighbors safe, and your family safe. But Jonathan, Sarah, we know we're going to keep it safe all Fiesta long. I'm going to send it back to you all at the studio.
Alyssa, I know you said you were a pro, but I don't really. She was swerving.
She was
Girlfriend was swerving
in style,
hitting
though.
some cones. She
Swerving
didn't hit the cones. Almost hit the cones.
Almost hit the count.
Hey,
And
everyone-
almost doesn't count. Folks, just call an Uber.
Be safe.
It's much easier.
Yeah.
Time is 8:40. Temperature 59 degrees.
Next, in this week's segment of Gardening with KSAT, we explore the benefits that gardening can have on your mental health, Jonathan.
I need to do some gardening. And taking a look outside through live cam, it's 59 degrees, folks. Step out and enjoy it while it lasts. Temperatures may be warming up. We'll be checking in with Sarah Spidey.
This morning, a week of big political news. The fallout from the Intel leak. What damage has been done? The abortion pill ruling. The 2024 race and Trump's legal battles. The Powerhouse Roundtable takes it all on this morning on ABC's This Week.
Looking for ways to reduce stress, anxiety, promote happiness, and even fight dementia? Spending time in the garden can help with all these aspects of your mental health, according to several studies.
Always looking for a way to de-stress. That's why in this week's segment, Gardening the KSAT, I tell you all about the mental health benefits of gardening.
When people ask me why I love gardening, my answer is always it's my escape. Whether I'm rushing out to get to work,
Come on, Scooby, sister, come on, let's go outside.
or letting my dogs outside, I love opening my front door and stepping out for that brief moment and seeing my flower garden.
It gives me a sense of peace, reminding me to breathe.
Another favorite part of being outside in my garden, that one-on-one time with nature.
Here he goes.
From discovering monarch caterpillars.
He's like the Jabba the Hutt. Look how big he is. Like, he's massive. And he's like real thick.
To bantering with my toads.
Can you be a Miss Toad? Cool teenage sis maybe Toad? Hello, Miss Toad.
And science shows gardening or just spending time in a garden doesn't just help reduce your stress, but also has several benefits to your mental health.
Texas A&M AgriLife experts say it can help fight depression, anxiety, ADD, PTSD, promote creativity, reduce the effects of dementia, and even boost your self-esteem. One study shows participants found spending time gardening just twice a week for an hour to an hour and a half helped them with their mental health.
And here's the good news. You don't even have to be an experienced gardener or have a garden.
Researchers say this is because just being in a garden helps you relax. By being in such a beautiful and tranquil place, it makes you feel peaceful in your mind and in your soul. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
And yesterday, Sarah, I spent some time outside.
Yeah.
Well, my husband put up the Fiesta decorations and I was filming it. He's like, I'm not going to get any credit for this. I'm like, I'll give you some credit.
There you go.
Yeah.
And by the way, the KSAT garden looks great out in the yard.
Thank you. I just gave an update on our Instagram page, on my Instagram and KSAT's Instagram page for that update on our garden here at KSAT.
It looks great. And you know what also looked great yesterday? The sky right around sunset.
Sure did.
These are the pictures that we were seeing across San Antonio. Looks like a mushroom cloud, right? These were sent in through our KSAT Connect feature on the weather app. And yeah, there's a little helicopter above that too. Then this is another view of this from another KSAT Connect user. One further off in the distance in Sisterdale. And then I love this picture too. In the hill country, you can really see the structure of a distant thunderstorm. So I thought we could talk about why we were treated to such beautiful images last night. And this is a look at last night, right around 8 o'clock in the evening. You can see these distant thunderstorms that were actually severe, produced some quarter to golf ball sized hail. But we were able to see perfectly in the distance from San Antonio some 30 to 40 miles down to that storm in Atascosa County, and some 60 to 80 miles east toward Lavaca County because a cold front had moved through. It had cleared the atmosphere for us in San Antonio of humidity and clouds, and we were able to see way off in the distance. Something about strong to severe storms as well is that they grow very tall, and that's why it kind of looked like a mushroom cloud or an anvil. So these storms were able to grow very tall all the way up to the stratosphere, which is about 30 to 40,000 feet above our heads. And in the stratosphere, clouds actually cannot form. It's actually why planes fly up above in the stratosphere, because they don't encounter any kind of turbulence. So once these storms grow tall enough to get to the stratosphere, they can't grow above that, and they flatten out and form this really cool anvil. And we were just treated to not only good, clear conditions, but the timing too of it happening right near sunset allowed for these beautiful, vibrant colors off in the distance. I'm writing an article on KSAT.com about the science behind that you'll be able to share with your friends a little bit later. I'm nerding out about it. I hope you are too. Outside right now, beautiful sunny skies behind the cold front that moved through last night. And it's going to be a great day today. 59 degrees outside right now, but we're already warming up. Winds are already starting to die down a little bit. We've been able to see gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. And in the afternoon, that's going to be the trend. It'll become less windy during the day as the day goes on. So a cool start. Grab that light jacket for your early Sunday morning plans. 58 in Bulverde and in New Braunfels, 60 in Hondo, 56 in Kerrville, and 56 in Comfort. But because it is so pleasantly dry outside, we are going to be able to see comfortable conditions. Even though it's cool now, it'll be nice and comfy in the afternoon. Dew points in the 30s and 40s. Here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Spending the morning here in the 60s, but as soon as we hit lunch, temperatures will be in the 70s. Notice again, those winds will start to die down a little bit later in the afternoon. We'll reach a high temperature of 79. Quite the improvement, because yesterday we were at 93. Today we're going to be at 79. Really nice Sunday for us to end the weekend. In your neighborhoods, it'll be 82 in Del Rio and Cotulla. Cotulla was near 100 yesterday, so 82 is a welcome change. 78 in Pleasanton, 77 in Kerrville and in Canyon Lake. It'll be 78 at Port SA, 77 in Poteet. Last day of the Strawberry Festival down in Poteet. It's going to be a great day. 75 in Gonzales. Now, low humidity today. We are going to see pleasantly low humidity tomorrow with dew points in the 50s. But by Tuesday, by Wednesday, it gets humid again. And we'll be able to see a chance for even some morning showers and rain, a drizzle rather, on Tuesday morning. So the humidity will be back for most of the week. We have 30% coverage on Wednesday as well. So not everybody is going to see washout rain this week. But again, Tuesday, morning drizzle, light rain, a 30% chance for isolated storms on Wednesday, less so on Thursday. As we kick off Fiesta, it'll just be warm and humid to end the week before another front moves through on Friday night.
Some of these recent showers, Sarah, have they made any impact on our drought?
They have for areas pretty much along and east of 281. The drought has improved, but unfortunately, we're in such a hole when it comes to the rain. We would need a lot of rain to get out of exceptional drought in San Antonio.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Time is 8:51, folks. Temperature 60 degrees.
We'll be right back. Well, don't forget, if you would like to be a royal for the day, join our KSAT Insider membership and sign up for this unique experience. One lucky winner, along with 3 guests, will ride on a private float during the Battle of Flowers Parade.
And you have until next Thursday to put your name in the drawing. To learn more information, visit our website, ksat.com.
And that article about those cool thunderstorms was just published on KSAT.com. So check it out if you can. There's lots of pictures there too. 79 degrees today, windy, but we will see those winds die down a little bit later in the afternoon. And Monday it'll be 80 degrees for the high tomorrow with low humidity. I do think that we will have some morning drizzle and light rain on Tuesday, so just plan ahead. Maybe a little extra commute time on Tuesday morning. But this is not going to be widespread rain to help us out with the drought, just kind of a bit of a nuisance. And then we'll have an isolated shower to Wednesday and Thursday, but Fiesta should go off without a hitch. It's going to be warm and humid on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so when we're at Fiesta, you want your hair up.
Yeah.
Hair up, dress, for those warm temps.
I think that's a good idea. You know what? We're going to have to dress warm for cool for Fiesta anyway, because it is just going to be warm, I think.
And sunblock.
Yeah. Sunblock's important.
Hey, Jonathan, it was great having you this
thank
weekend.
you for letting me join y'all. I had such a good time. And folks, thank you for joining us at home. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's going to be a nice Sunday.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Happy Sunday.